Hi, and welcome to English Language and Literature at Longroad Sixth Form College. I'm very excited that you've chosen to come study with us, and I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely wonderful experience. My name is Emma. I'm one of the wonderful English teachers that you will encounter during your time with us. So the purpose of this video is just to give you an overview of the summer work that we would like for you to do, please, before you meet us in September. It's just to give you an overview of the kind of thing that you might be doing on the course, and to inspire you about some of the topic areas, and obviously to prepare you as well, so that you've kind of got a head start when we finally meet each other. So let me just share my PowerPoint with you. Here we go. Yeah, so welcome to the course. The key topic that we will be using, dealing with, is going to be true crime. So the very first thing that I would like for you to do is just get to grips with this huge topic, really. We'll obviously be dealing with it specifically in a particular text in the course. That's Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. More on him in a minute. But yeah, to begin with, you've probably already seen some true crime on the TV, read about it in the newspapers. There's a lot going on in the news all the time, horrifyingly, about this topic. So we're just going to do some general background research to become familiar with that. So I'm asking you to watch at least two true crime stories. There is a handout that goes with this video that gives you loads of links to try, some on YouTube. There's some podcasts as well, and on BBC iPlayer. I'm flicking through a few that I found. I would recommend watching at least two of those. As I say, some of these ones on YouTube are like 45 minutes long each. Obviously there are much more developed long ones on Netflix, which you can really get your teeth into if you have Netflix, but it's your choice. So try something that you think might interest you. There's lots to choose from there. This one looks quite entertaining. Who the bleep did I marry? I've not seen any of these yet, but obviously they're kind of the tone there is going for something a little bit more comic than some of the more potentially gruesome offerings elsewhere. Life and Death Row, for example. But again, it's all true, it's all happening, it's all out there. Podcasts, of course, as well. These have really sort of taken a resurgence in recent time, and particularly during lockdown. On my little walkies, I listen to some of these, which is all very good, nice and accessible. As I say, there are more on Netflix as well, if you have access to that. So, but you may not. So, having then watched a couple of different stories, I'd like for you to please just write a summary of each one that you have watched, to remind you, because obviously September's still a little while away, but then also give me a couple of paragraphs giving your personal opinion of each story. There's a couple of bullet points extra to kind of flesh out what I mean by those questions on the handout, so do have a look at those. They'll guide you and give you a bit of structure to your thoughts. And then the final task is closely related to the actual text that we will study on the course, which is Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. You may or may not have heard about it. It was published in 1966, and there is so much that's been said and written about it. It's a truly glorious, glorious novel. So I've got some questions for you to do some research and find out a bit about that. Which will really help you get yourself set up for September. And then finally, there's just a couple of lots of actually different films have been made about the whole process, not only the story itself, which is of course a true crime story, but also the making of that true crime story, because the way that Capote did it and what he created through doing it is entirely different than anyone had done before. So a little bit of watching a couple of films, trailers, just the trailers of the films. We'll watch the films together to kind of give you a taster of that much wider story, which is really exciting about the novel. And then just a little thing to sort of write down one question. It might be something that you haven't understood or something that you want to know more about, but bring that question and your notes with you to our first lesson in September, please, so that we can all share, hopefully, depending what the world looks like then, we can share our thoughts with each other. And that is a big way that we learn actually in English, is just like the sharing and the talking and this discussing and ideas, as I'm sure you have been experiencing previously. So that's it really from me. I hope that is clear. As I say, there is a document that accompanies this that kind of gives you a little bit more detail, a bit more of a flavour. Well, that's it for the summer work. I hope that's been a useful overview for you, and that you'll really enjoy getting your teeth into it. I look forward to seeing you in September.